Thank you very much, Ron. Appreciate it. Hello, everyone. I'm Paul Bengtson. I'm the VP of Sales for TMAX Soft North America. I was a mainframe developer for about 10 years before I got into enterprise software sales, and have been with TMAX Soft for the last 6 years about. And I'm going to talk about OpenFrame today and our lift and shift strategy to migrating off the mainframe to the cloud or on-premise environment. So just quick background on TMAX Soft. We are a global company. We've got about 1,800 employees, and really we're primarily a software development company, but in North America, the primary product that we sell and market is the OpenFrame solution, since this is really the part of the world in North America where there's the most mainframes, and our OpenFrame system really has a great fit. We have numerous reference accounts that we can point to across many different industries. So everything from financial services with banking and insurance to retail and manufacturing and telecom and so on. So we've got a great list of accounts that we've worked with in the past, and we've been doing these mainframe transformations for well over 15 years now, and have recently, I think you've seen this chart before earlier today, but we were named as a leader also in this mainframe modernization space, and I think especially the other companies around us really have a different strategy. So I think with this lift and shift approach, we really stand out as a leader in this space. And I'm not going to spend time on this, but I think everybody already articulated the difficulty of migrating off the mainframe to the cloud. And really, IBM had created the stickiest of technologies over the last many decades. And we feel strongly that the OpenFrame solution is definitely the lowest cost, the lowest risk, and the shortest timeline for migrating applications off the mainframe. And we'll go into how we do that here shortly. This is really important slide that illustrates what we do in a rehost or lift and shift or replatform type of project, where the goal is really to minimize the number of changes that are going on when we lift these applications off the mainframe and move them to the cloud. So from the top down, the user interface typically does not change at all. So that stays the same. We're reusing system definitions from the mainframe. All the applications, we just recompile those applications, hopefully not changing any of the source code whatsoever. And we're just generating a new binary file that then will run on Linux. And all the JCL transfers as is. We've got the replacements for your online systems, the security systems, the majority of the tools and utilities that the people are used to using in the mainframe environment. We have replacements in OpenFrame. So all those boxes in white, the goal is to change little or nothing as we migrate over to the open systems world. And again, the benefit of that is really it decreases risk. It decreases the amount of testing time that are required. It still does require testing, of course, but not nearly as much as if you're doing other strategy like code converting or refactoring and rewriting. But then the database at the box in green, we're doing a data migration project. So it's definitely modernizing the data and moving it to a cloud or other relational database technology. And there's a number of different target databases that we support depending on the platform that you're moving to. But and then, of course, at the very bottom, the operating system is changing from z/OS to Linux. And then really, OpenFrame is intended to replace or, you know, everything that people like about the mainframe environment. So the things that they expect from for their mission critical systems, like the high performance processing, the network system failovers, all the redundancy and high availability capabilities are certainly architected into the OpenFrame solution. Especially makes it very scalable in the cloud environment. We support a number of different cloud platforms. So I think all our partners from Azure and AWS and GCP, we support all those and have references on all three. We also support multiple versions of Linux and VMware and Docker and OpenShift. And we have some companies that prefer to first deploy on-premise before going to the cloud. And we also have others that go straight to the cloud. So either strategy we operate in. A few of the case studies we can point to. This is a major US bank we did a project for that was about 970 MIPS, 71 million lines of code. It was a mix of ADSO and COBOL and Fortran and EasyTrieve and Rex. Pretty mission critical system for this. For them, this was their portfolio management system. And they chose to, at least initially, deploy on-premise in data center and ran it for a few years actually before then more recently migrating to the cloud. And they noticed some pretty significant benefits. I mean, just as far as processing speed, reduction in DR time, their annual run costs, of course, decreased pretty dramatically. Their application footprint decreased. So a lot of benefits they found in addition to what they say being much more agile in the new environment and being able to continue their modernization goals as they move forward. We also have a number of retailers we've done projects for. This project was a major retailer that had about 500 MIPS, 6 core business systems. It had a mix of assembler, COBOL, Dial 280, if those of you remember that, even quick jobs. So quite a number of different technologies that were migrated to the cloud. And they ultimately were able to completely shut off their mainframe once they deployed this system on the cloud, and then especially were able to realize some pretty significant return on investment where their annual run costs went down dramatically, and again really put them in a much better place to continue modernization of those applications going forward. And OpenFrame really, one of the reasons we're a leader is because we support more legacy technologies with OpenFrame than anything else out there. When you look at the interfaces, the application environments, the different programming languages that we support natively without changes to them, this is really a partial list even of all the supported technologies we have. The orange being native support, the boxes in blue are technologies where we actually have tool-based conversion to something else that then would be supported in the open systems environment. And the gray boxes being where we integrate to existing Linux software. And again, a number of databases that we support. And again, this is a partial list of the different data environments that we support with OpenFrame. One thing when we do the lift and shift approach, I think sometimes, at least in PowerPoint, it feels like not much is really changing, but really there's a lot that gets changed under the hood. And the application source code, of course, we're doing everything we can to minimize or eliminate risk in these projects so they can go quickly and efficiently. But the underlying platforms really delivers a lot as far as data migration, moving into a 3-tier architecture. And again, as I said, putting that final state being a much more agile, flexible platform in order to continue modernization in the future. And one of the reasons we have such great success with this is every customer we engage with, we do a detailed analysis up front, and we do have automated tools that can analyze source code. So if we get access to the source code of our prospects and customers, we're able to run through that, identify missing source code, unsupported functions, dead code. We're looking at interface points, cross-referencing all the elements. So again, doing a very detailed look when we engage with our customers. And really, the process is pretty straightforward to evaluate this technology to see if it's a fit with your company and your company's goals for modernization. But frequently we'll do a intro meeting, not unlike this, where it's a high-level overview of the technologies. But we've got a very short 2-page questionnaire that, if it's filled out, takes a few hours typically to fill out. We can very quickly generate a high-level proposal that outlines software costs, maintenance costs, and how long we expect the project to take. Most of our projects run in that 6 to 12 month time frame. However, we do have much larger projects that run over a period of, say, 12 to 18 months or so. But once we do that high-level proposal, we can target a much more focused demo. And then if we get access to source code, we can do that automated tool-based analysis of the source code and really put together a much more detailed analysis of the environment and hopefully confirm what we estimated in that high-level proposal, and with a lot more detail. We're always happy to do POCs, arrange reference calls with our successful customers that have been running OpenFrame for a while. And then, of course, you've got everything you need to make a decision to move forward.